Today, we're exposing the 10 worst SUVs that no one should buy, according to Consumer Reports. And the results are shocking. These aren't just bad cars, they're money pits disguised as family vehicles. One SUV is burning through oil faster than gas. Another's transmission is failing at just 60,000 miles. And the last SUV on our list? Wait till you see how bad it is. 10. Ford Escape. Starting at number 10, we have the Ford Escape. At first glance, the Escape seems appealing with its sleek design and tech features, priced from $28,000 for the base model to $38,400 for higher trims. But don't let that attractive starting price fool you. While it offers decent features like an 8-inch touchscreen and standard safety tech, owners report serious problems. We're talking transmission failures, engine stalling, and electrical system nightmares. Even the infotainment system has a habit of going haywire, with screens freezing up at the worst possible moments. 9. Dodge Journey. Moving on to number 9, the Dodge Journey might be discontinued, but it's still haunting the used car market. Starting at around $23,000 when it was new, this SUV might seem like a bargain. But here's where things get ugly. Owners report transmission problems so severe, they're facing complete failures. The electrical system, it's like playing Russian roulette with your key fob. You never know if you'll be able to get into your car. And don't even get me started on the engine stalling issues, especially with that 2.4-liter engine. If you're looking at a used Journey, you're facing potential water leaks in the interior, an infotainment system that has a mind of its own, and engine overheating issues that could leave you stranded. The interior quality, let's just say it feels more like a budget motel than a living room on wheels. 8. GMC Terrain. Coming in at number 8, we have the GMC Terrain. Starting at $31,000, this SUV promises luxury but delivers headaches. The biggest issue? Oil consumption that's through the roof. We're talking a quart every 1,000 miles in some cases. Owners have actually filed a class action lawsuit over this. But that's not all. The StabiliTrak system has a nasty habit of failing, causing the vehicle to stall without warning. Imagine that happening on a busy highway. The transmission? It's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. Rough shifting, slipping gears, and in some cases, complete transmission failure. And those fancy electrical features? The infotainment system freezes more often than a computer running Windows 95, and the power windows have a tendency to give up when you least expect it. 7. Jeep Wrangler. At number 7, we have the Jeep Wrangler. Now, I know what you're thinking, but it's an icon. Well, sometimes icons fall from grace. Starting at $34,000 for the base model and skyrocketing to $63,300 for the Rubicon X, you'd expect reliability for that price tag. Instead, you're getting a vehicle that's been plagued with issues. The 2018 and 2021 models particularly stand out for all the wrong reasons: electrical problems, transmission issues, and enough unwanted noises to start a symphony. But here's the real kicker. Stellantis recently had to recall nearly 200,000 plug-in hybrid Wranglers due to fire risks. Yes, you heard that right. Fire risks. They're actually telling owners to park outside and not charge their vehicles. 6. Chevrolet Equinox. At number 6, we find the Chevrolet Equinox. Starting at $30,000, it might seem like a decent deal with its turbocharged 1.5-liter engine pushing out 175 horsepower. But don't let those numbers fool you. While Chevy loads it up with a fancy 11.3-inch touchscreen and over 15 safety features, the real story lies in what owners are dealing with after driving off the lot. Let's talk about that engine. Earlier models are notorious for excessive oil consumption that'll have you checking your dipstick more often than your phone. Consumer Reports specifically flags the 2018 model year for major headaches. We're talking transmission problems that'll make every drive an adventure, and not the good kind. The fuel system? It's about as reliable as a weather forecast. And those electrical accessories? They have a habit of deciding when they want to work. But even with the 2025 redesign promising all these improvements, you're still looking at a vehicle that's barely hitting average reliability ratings. Sure, they've packed it with new tech and safety features, But when the basics like the engine and transmission have such a troubled history, you've got to ask yourself, is it worth the risk? 5. Ford Ecosport. Rolling into number 5, the Ford Ecosport brings problems that are anything but economical. The oil pump failures in the 1.0-liter EcoBoost engine are so common, they might as well be a feature. Specifically, the 2018 to 2021 models have been hitting owners with a nasty surprise: defective oil pump assemblies that can lead to engine and power brake failures while you're driving. Yeah, while you're driving. The transmission? Owners report rough shifting that makes every drive feel like you're learning to drive stick for the first time. And those brake issues? They're not just annoying. We're talking about grinding noises that mechanics attribute to low-quality brake pads and worn rotors. The electrical problems are like a greatest hits album of everything that could go wrong. Malfunctioning infotainment systems, unresponsive touchscreens, and sensors that seem to have a mind of their own. Consumer Reports gave it a reliability score of 29 out of 100. Just 29. To put that in perspective, that's like getting an F- in school. Ford even decided to discontinue it in several markets by the end of 2022. When the manufacturer gives up on their own vehicle, that should tell you something. 4. Nissan Juke. Number 4 brings us to the Nissan Juke. Priced around $33,000 to $35,000, this quirky-looking SUV turns heads. Unfortunately, so do its problems. Under the hood, you're getting a 1.0-liter turbocharged engine pushing out just 114 horsepower. That's not exactly setting the world on fire, but the real fun begins with the transmission, especially in those 2011 to 2014 models. The CVT transmission failures are so common, owners report shuddering, slipping, and sudden loss of power. Repairs, you're looking at complete transmission replacements that'll have your wallet crying for mercy. But there's more. The turbocharger issues are costing owners anywhere from $1,000 to $2,500 to fix. The electrical problems? Everything from infotainment system freezing to battery and starter failures. It's like this car was designed to keep mechanics in business. And with a fuel economy of just 10 kilometers per liter in the city, you'll be spending plenty of quality time at the gas station too. 3. Jeep Compass. Taking the number 3 spot is the Jeep Compass. Starting at $27,500, it might seem like a bargain for a Jeep. But let's break down what you're really getting. That 2.0-liter turbocharged engine might sound impressive with its 200 horsepower, but owners report ongoing issues with transmission problems that'll make your head spin. The build quality? Critics point out the overuse of plastic materials in the interior. It's like sitting in a recycling bin. Even with the fancy 10.1-inch touchscreen and wireless Apple CarPlay, owners keep reporting electrical system malfunctions. The infotainment system has a habit of going haywire, and those dashboard displays? They're about as reliable as a chocolate teapot. And when an expert mechanic calls it pure junk, despite its high rankings on some SUV lists, you know something's seriously wrong. The worst part? These aren't isolated incidents. We're talking about widespread issues affecting multiple model years. 2. Mitsubishi Outlander, runner-up at number 2. The Mitsubishi Outlander starts at $28,000 and climbs to a shocking $78,800 for the sporty GSR version. On paper, it looks decent. You've got options between a 2.5-liter engine or a PHEV system pushing 306 horsepower. But in reality, it's a different story. The transmission problems are legendary. We're talking delayed shifting responses that'll have you questioning if you're actually in drive or neutral. This isn't just an occasional hiccup. Owners consistently report these issues, especially in models from 2014 to 2016. The electrical system? It's like a game of whack-a-mole with dashboard malfunctions and infotainment glitches, particularly in models from 2018 onward. Those suspension issues? The premature wear in the front suspension, especially in the control arm and ball joints, means you'll be on a first-name basis with your mechanic. And let's not forget about those brake problems. Premature brake pad wear has been a constant complaint in the 2014 to 2018 range. Even the latest models are getting called out for lack of power and fuel efficiency concerns. That fancy PHEV system might save you gas money, but the repair bills? They'll more than make up for it. 1. Fiat 500X. And finally, taking our #1 spot for the worst SUV you should avoid at all costs, the Fiat 500X. Starting at $28,000, this Italian-styled nightmare is the perfect example of why looks can be deceiving. Under that stylish exterior lurks a 1.3-liter turbocharged engine. The transmission problems are so common, they might as well include a warranty claim form with every purchase. We're talking about delays and difficulties when shifting gears that affect everyday driving performance. Wind and engine noise? It's like driving in a wind tunnel with a jet engine. The electrical problems are a greatest hits collection of everything that could go wrong, from faulty wiring to battery problems and malfunctioning alternators. The visibility issues make parking this thing more challenging than a game of Twister. But here's the worst part. In July 2024, they had to recall 332,000 vehicles due to faulty seatbelt buckle sensors that could affect airbag deployment. Even the basic safety features aren't reliable. Consumer Reports hasn't pulled any punches either, highlighting major concerns with both reliability and performance. When you're paying $28,000 for a vehicle, you expect better than an SUV that seems designed to keep repair shops in business. So there you have it, the 10 worst SUVs that no one should buy. If you're in the market for an SUV, do yourself a favor and steer clear of these models. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos that could save you thousands. We'll catch you next time.